Welcome subscribers. Conor and Bryce here this month, bring you some more amazing coffee. First, a big welcome to all our new subscribers. Super happy to have you join our family on our journey of finding the world's best coffee. This month, instead of giving multiple options to everyone, we have selected two of honestly some of our favorite coffees that we've ever had here in the shop, and one release we've been waiting literally months to get out to you guys. So I thought I'd start by talking about what's happening here at Epoch Chemistry. We'll dive into introduction on the coffees and our guest roaster. We're gonna do, of course, a cupping once again, as we always do in our videos. And this month, we have brought out the AeroPress to brew with you, friends. So a lot of activity here. Bryce and I just got back from the national barista competition. We placed in the top 6, which means we move on from the semifinals, and I will be competing, representing New Brunswick, Moncton, and our family here at Epoch Chemistry at the Nationals in August. So, yay, I'm a top 10 barista in the country, and I'm super excited to polish up a routine. Bryce was my coach throughout the entire process, and the whole team here at Epoch Chemistry participated in my run-throughs, the roasting of the coffee, sourcing of the coffee. Big shout out to our friend Cole Terode at Forward Coffee, who provided one of the coffees from today, and as well provided me my competition coffee. We are going to be running some competition run-throughs for you guys. If you want to see what competition coffee is, what a barista routine is, we'll have 10 tasting slots available for 4 people. I'll send out a little note to you guys to give you guys first access, of course, but that'll essentially be our full run-through there. I competed with one of these coffees actually, so I'm really excited. We had our first coffee was a Finca Deborah Panamanian Geisha, obnoxiously expensive, obnoxiously beautiful coffee, and then I flavor packed it full with this pacamara. So one of the coffees you're receiving this month is from Colombia, from a farm, Las Margaritas. It is grown at 2,000 meters above sea level, between 1,500 and 2,000 meters above sea level, and it is a pacamara. Pacamaras are large bean varietals. They are really, really fun, really hard to roast, and exceptionally delicious. This pacamara is gonna blow your socks off. As well, as you know, we have a rotating list of roasters that come through. This year, we're really focusing on the international market, and last month we know we had Ona Coffee, which was absolutely superb. Our Australian friends did an amazing job. And this month we brought in a coffee roaster from Japan. I'll pass it over to Bryce just to walk you through kind of his process in finding this company and what they brought through.
Yeah, so with this coffee, I've actually been following these guys on Instagram for quite a while. And I've been just super excited about their product and their branding that they're able to do with their packaging. This is Lilo Coffee Roasters from Osaka, Japan. They are fantastic, and they run 3 different parts of their business at the same time. And I'll talk a little bit about that briefly. It's really cool.
I love this kind of notion there, where what Lilo Coffee has done is they have broken the coffee experience down to a few different ways. So they have a slow coffee practice, similar to how we do service here, where everything is really deliberate, hand-brewed coffees, exceptionally dialed espressos, presented in a fun and approachable way. They also run a really busy cafe in the fashion district in downtown Osaka, which I went and Google Earthed it. It was insane. Super, super high-end, super busy. They have, of course, their roastery, and they have a quality control center as well. So really they have the different aspects, each of them serving coffee a little bit of a different way. And I love their mantra. It's about making specialty coffee fun. Mm-hmm. And it's something that really ties into how Bryce and I both view specialty coffee in general and the approachability of this. As well, sorry to hang up here, our roaster, Rachelle, who roasted this coffee, just got back from her SCA, Specialty Coffee Association training. So it was done in Copenhagen. We sent Rachelle across the pond there to get some information from our friends at Coffee Mind. You might notice on our tables today, we're having the new flavor wheel. I'll take a picture of this and email it out to you guys with a link, of course, just so you guys can check out how they're organizing coffee. We're gonna be using today to describe the aromas, tactile feel, and the actual taste of both the Lilo coffee and our own pacamara. I'm really pumped though. I think this is the first time too that Bryce and we sat down last month and we decided that, you know, let's just get one coffee offering for our subscribers, not available to anyone else, so we can really celebrate what's happening here. And I think you're ready to launch this coffee.
So this coffee is a wash coffee. It is an Arusha varietal, and it is from Papua New Guinea. It is a very interesting coffee. I have not had a coffee from Papua New Guinea before. I don't think you have either.
I don't think we've ever carried in the shop, actually.
No, I don't think we have. And it is from a farm called Cobran. I'm sorry, I just want to I will use my phone to make sure I'm pronouncing stuff correctly. It's in the Eastern Highlands in Kanatu, Papua New Guinea, which is very exciting. This These two coffees are drastically different in taste and flavor profile and mouthfeel and tactile experience. It's gonna be really fun.
Awesome. So we'll get started on cupping right away. Bryce is going to do the physical motions for me this month through, and I'll talk you through what he's doing. So both of us started with 14 grams of our coffee today. Ground a little bit finer than what you'd use for a pour over. Somewhere a little, maybe a touch coarser than a drip machine, but right in that realm right there. He's going to be using 200 grams of boiling water, and we're going to let this sit for 4 minutes as we enjoy the aromas and we talk a little bit more about the kind of flavors we can expect there. So he's filling this up right now. You're gonna see a little crust form on top, especially your pacamara. I will give a little bit of warning. It is gonna be the freshest coffee we've given you. So my friends who are espresso lovers, I'd recommend opening up the Papua New Guinea first. It will be a little bit more rested, a little bit more balanced for you. Where this pacamara, actually right now in the back, Rachelle is roasting it as we speak for delivery on Wednesday. So it will be exceptionally fresh. Whenever we start by pouring this, the first thing that we do is we're gonna inspect the aroma, the hot aroma of this coffee. So fun when you can tell exactly what the coffee is before you even tasted it. That is a little dance here in the back end.
Drastically different in smell.
Oh, they're just beautiful though. I will give you a little bit of there's some more things coming in your bag this month, friends. We have a little pamphlet from our friends here at Lilo Coffee Roaster. If you are curious about their business model, some of their branding ideas, as well as how they actually organize coffee, I think that their tasting structure is really approachable.
Very cool.
You will see find a little card in your bag for the Papua New Guinea. It's gonna have basically an axis on it that has acidity, sweetness, boldness, body, that kind of stuff that you can see through there. And you'll kind of see where this coffee lies. And as Bryce was saying, the pacamara will be completely in left field right off the mark from that one. So we have, of course, our timer going. We're about at 1 minute right now. Normally in this time when I pour my coffees, I'll normally get my spoons heated up. Here we have them in some warm water. If you're using a cold spoon, that will manipulate a little bit of the taste there, something I haven't mentioned in the past. So get yourself some hot water there just to rinse that out. As well, I'll start preparing myself mentally for tasting coffee. It's always important that we are gonna be present, mindful. Sometimes chaos in my house is pretty normal. I have a 2-year-old, so if your kids are at home and stuff, don't worry if you're not perfectly peaceful. But if you can, try and get yourself some nice music to have on there, put your headphones in, and get yourself in this mindset. For some of our expectations of aroma, I'm getting a really, really nice, soft kind of florals, maybe a little bit of acidity coming off even the nose of the pacamara. And the Papua New Guinea here is giving me a lot of these kind of decadent, more full body expectation that I might lose. Now, I'm gonna go back in again and smell the bushes. And we'll do a little dance here again as we switch over. Oh my gosh.
I get a nice toffee caramel scent off of the Papua New Guinea big time.
Honestly, this kind of coffee, I was really surprised. It's incredibly approachable.
Very.
Which I thought was really important this month to give, because this pacamara is absolutely wild. Las Margaritas is a farm that we have been really eyeballing at a distance for quite some time. They produced a varietal called Sudan Rumé, which is a really popular coffee in the competition world right now. If you're looking to buy some coffee for $200-$400 a pound, let me know, I got you, and it's definitely going to be from one of their farms. This pacamara is actually as well the most expensive coffee we've ever offered, but I couldn't wait to get it to you guys. I said, like, we tried it 3 months ago, and you can ask the team here at Epoch when you come in. I literally tasted it on the cupping table, and I bought another 2 bags, both personally and maybe to share with the team here, but we're gonna give you guys lots of love there. So we're at 2 minutes 45. Following this, you're gonna see us break the crust, smell the aromas once again after it's been wet and moist there. We're gonna remove the top part of this, and we're gonna slurp this coffee. We're gonna give you tasting notes for the hot beverage we're tasting, and as this cools throughout, we might touch back again on it, step it a couple more times, and we'll give you the cold flavor notes as well. That's a big thing that we've noticed in the coffee world right now is and you guys know this, there's a huge difference between hot and cold liquid, and there's different tasting notes associated to both. As well, following the post of this, we're gonna jump right into our AeroPress brewing here. We're gonna do 2 different recipes for the AeroPress today. As you guys know, we're huge lovers of this brewer right here. Incredibly versatile travel brewer, invented in the early 2000s. And it's really a wonderful way. And we'll show you the variableness that we get there and how that can affect our tasting notes. We will only brew the pacamara in the AeroPresses. So if you're wanting to brew the Papua New Guinea, just reach out to Bryce, myself, or Rachelle here, and we'll fire you off a quick little recipe. We've been having a lot of fun this month experimenting with that. So Bryce, I think we're pretty much at that point now. We can get ready to break these crusts. I'll actually break one if you don't mind breaking one. And you can go. So when we break the crust, we're taking our spoon here. Bryce is pushing it forward, giving a little bit of room for this really beautiful aroma to take over our nose there. This is a wonderful way to taste coffee. Oh, and just the florals of this coffee just really get opened up when you break that crust. I'll actually give you 2 spoons there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You'll see the technique we kind of use. We put the spoons together and we just sort of push it around there to pick up all the grinds on top. You might see online, there's a few ways to do this. You can always stir it as well. That will make the grinds descend into the cup. You get a little bit more grit when you do that. If you want to snack while you taste coffee, great way to do it. I don't like the snack, so I like to really remove the top filter there. And just a reminder, this will be quite hot as we did use boiling water. So I think it's important to note that maybe give yourself a second, thank you so much, in between just to let yourself actually have something a bit more digestible. This smells incredible, eh?
I love it.
Yeah, big time toffee notes. So even for the aroma on our tasting wheel here, I can already start to assume what area this might be in terms of flavor. Just a reminder how flavor works in our mouth. Acidity and sweetness take place more in the cheeks and the front of your mouth, where bitterness, decadence, boldness will happen both in the roof and the back of the palate. And this can happen at multiple times while you're slurping and tasting coffee. With the pacamara, we've done a lot of work on this coffee, and we find it lands a lot more towards the berry, melons, florals, acidic side, where the Papua New Guinea is going to have a really nice compromise of maybe a bit more of like a citrus, like a chocolate covered orange, and a lot more of that toffee and nuttiness that we enjoy. So now that we have this done, we can actually start slurping some coffee obnoxiously, which I absolutely love to do in good company. So you can always just, I like to keep my spoon pretty level to the cup. I'll lower it down here, and I'll just take a little bit of the liquid there. And no snacks, always a good sign. I feel this might be very hot.
Yeah, well, another little tip for you while you're getting coffee out of the cupping bowl, if you rest the shaft of your spoon on the edge of the cup and just tilt the spoon down in, it's an easy way to get coffee out.
Oh my gosh. My first initial instinct is that this is exceptionally coating. Like the mouth feels very buttery, very full. This is going to be an exceptional espresso. Anyone with a drip machine too, this is going to be a really elevation of what you might expect from normal coffee. Not as hot as I thought too.
No, it's not.
You might hear us slurping. If you are a wine connoisseur, and I definitely am one of those people who really enjoys wine, what you'll find is that with wine, it's more about the aeration. Oxygen and aeration can really open up the body of a wine. With coffee, it's more about getting the coffee to every part of your palate. So when you hear coffee professionals take that big slurp, we're really trying to spread it out to every part of the palate, to hit on everything, from the side, the roof, the back, the finish. Gives us a lot more what we're doing there.
It's very syrupy in the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
I think that's how I would identify it.
So I'll walk you through. Of course, we already tested this coffee beforehand, before starting this video. So I have a couple notes here. The first thing we pulled out was oolong tea. If you've ever had a milk oolong, you're really going to have the sensibility of coating mouthfeel, short finish, really, really buttery. I'm definitely getting maybe something of the almond varietal, maybe macadamia.
Yeah.
One of the sweeter nuts, because it's definitely something nutty in there. And then you said syrup, and a note we had earlier was, have you ever had those canned mandarin oranges that have a kind of like syrup in it? That's the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's that viscosity of the syrup, which I think is really fun.
Big time. And slight citrus.
Slight citrus.
Not overpowering. It's mostly like a toffee or caramel sweetness from this. It's not much of a fruit range of the sweetness, which is always fun in coffee. Typically, you'll see that a lot in Guatemalan coffees, like the Guatemalan that we had was like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Huehuetenango is like a really good region for that.
Big time.
So Papua New Guinea notoriously had lower elevation coffee. And lower elevation coffee, they do a lot of Robusta, which is a sister plant to Arabica, different species, generally has a lot more bitter sensibility to it.
Yeah.
The fact that they were able to produce such a clean wash coffee is really exciting for Southeast Asia. Yeah. And we featured an Indonesian coffee back in February, which we were so pumped on. Very much the ACES program, from coffee there. Yeah, it's honestly phenomenal what they did. And I'm so excited to see more and more countries, origins, farmers producing exceptional specialty coffee out of Southeast Asia. Yeah. And we see this from roasters that are in Japan. They have a couple coffees there that are from Yunnan in China. Something that we never knew was available to us. And it's because they're where they're actually geographically located, it means they can source different coffees than we can.
Big time.
Which is very inspiring for us. I think that we're now challenging what we're doing and looking around the world. So you might see some coffees coming out from Rwanda, Burundi. We're hoping to get some more Indonesian next year. That coffee went insanely fast. And when I went back to get more, it was sold out.
So this coffee is grown about 100 meters below typically where we would find specialty coffee.
Really?
It's about 1,800 meters below.
Oh my gosh, wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna get one more step before we go on to pacamara. I would recommend in your cupping that you do this one first.
Definitely. Yeah.
Just because of the vibrancy of the pacamara.
This one's definitely a lot more delicate. So if you start out with something that's going to be very vibrant, it's going to be very hard to taste stuff with the Papua New Guinea.
Oh my gosh. I have been waiting and waiting to release this coffee. If you've been one of the few who's come to the shop when I've been doing my test of my barista routine, you might have seen that we were sampling a little bit of this, but holy crap.
And we did have it on the brew bar for a weekend, maybe. That's it, though. We haven't really had a chance to let you guys have this coffee, and we're very excited about it. One of our favorite coffees we've had.
That is wild. So one tasting note that's been synonymous with this coffee since the first time we tasted it has been watermelon candies, the sour watermelon candies. It just rings true, especially in the cupping form, how this tastes. Tons of florals. I have spent way too much time with rose water recently as part of my signature beverage. And I'm getting a huge floral rose element to this coffee. Rose water, really, specifically. As well, there's a clean hibiscus note.
Hibiscus, yes.
Yeah, hibiscus, and I really feel like that red berry, the hibiscus, really come into the forefront of this. But geez, that melon note is unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely hibiscus with it being slightly tart with the sourness and sweetness that's there as well. Definitely hibiscus.
That is unbelievable. So with this Las Margaritas coffee, if you are an espresso lover, I would definitely recommend trying your milk beverage. Try a cortado, a piccolo, something of a smaller amount there. It is mind-blowing.
Do you want to explain what a piccolo is?
Sure, yeah. So a piccolo beverage is basically half a cortado. It's a 1-in-1. Yeah. So you're using either 1 ounce, or 2 ounces to 1 ounce. It's a very, very, very small milk beverage. I served them in my competition this last time. And our tasting notes with this pacamara were like strawberry yogurt. We had the florals again. We had really fruity milk chocolate, almost like a Tanzanian milk chocolate. I would highly recommend making your favorite milk drinks with this. Cappuccino would be outstanding with this coffee.
Spectacular, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so rose was consistent throughout as well with this one when you had that on espresso.
That is great. So good.
Yeah.
So 2 fantastic coffees for you to try this month. We're gonna move these aside right now and start brewing some AeroPresses. So the AeroPress, of course, is a lovely travel brewer. If you're doing any travel again, you know we're coming to the end of COVID restrictions everywhere around the world. If you're getting ready to do some traveling this time, I think it's really, really important that we have the right brewer. You deserve coffee no matter where you go. And I'm fed up of having bad coffee. I don't want to go to a hotel and have crappy coffee anymore. So you know what? The AeroPress has become a best friend of ours. Do you have the filters there?
Yep, they're. Do you have one? Okay, no, I don't. I will need one.
Perfect. So you have a few different components here with the AeroPress. We have our plunger. We have our little thing here that goes into our little screen, if you will, that has our filters on it. And of course, we have our actual AeroPress and a little funnel and stir spoon. I'm going to do a traditional AeroPress recipe, and Bryce is going to do something funky for you guys. If you did not know, Bryce is a competitive AeroPress user. He competed last year in the AeroPress Championships. So first and foremost, you want to pass that kettle, buddy? I'm just going to rinse my paper filter out. Actually, you want to pass it over there. Thank you so much. As with any brew method, start by rinsing out your paper filter. I as well am going to heat up my carafe by doing this. Grab a bowl over here. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead, and my recipe is very simple. If you're a fan of some coffee influencers online, Tim Mondabo, of course, is a big example. He's being arguing right now for the purpose of Michelin stars in coffee, and I am very inspired by what they do. They only serve AeroPress in their bar. Espresso and AeroPress. And there's a reason. It's consistent, easy, and they haven't changed the recipe in 12 years. And we're going to use their recipe today. So we're starting with 12 grams of a medium fine coffee grind. I'm going to be totally using 200 grams of water, and I'm going to brew it just simply right on top like this. This can work great in your camping cup or your mug. I'm going to bloom about 50 grams of water. I'm going to let it bloom for 30 seconds. I'm going to stir, fill up to 200, stir again, put my plunger on top for a minute and a half, and plunge at 2 minutes. While I'm doing my brew, Bryce will then explain his recipe as we're going through it, because I'll have about a minute and a half of actual steeping time. I'll repeat one more time. 12 grams of coffee, 200 grams of water broken into 2 pours, 1 bloom to release the carbon dioxide, 50 grams, 150 grams after 30 seconds, sit for a minute and a half, plunge on top.
So my recipe is a little bit more obnoxious than Conor's by far. I love to add a ton of random steps and make stuff more complicated than it needs to be sometimes. So I'm using 20 grams of coffee, ground a little bit coarser than Conor's is. It's probably 2 steps coarser, or 2 steps finer than you would use for pour over. And I'm going to be using 94-degree water. I'm going to be pouring 150 grams of water into my AeroPress. I'm then going to stir and insert my plunger to create a vacuum after I pull up. I'm going to let that steep for about a minute and a half. Then I'm going to press that out and dilute it with 85 grams of 94-degree water, just to give it a very vibrant mouthfeel, or a very, very vibrant taste, as well as a very nice coating mouthfeel. Yeah, so we're gonna get started here.
Just as a subtle flex, I hit 50 grams to the dot, 200 grams to the dot.
Pretty nice, I will say.
So you see I put the plunger on here, and as Bryce said, I'm just gonna hold it there. And that will actually keep it nice and secure there on top. You see a little bit of dripping coming through on mine. I'm not too fussed about that, keeping it as simple as possible. You might notice in Bryce's pour, he has rapid small circles. If you don't have yourself a gooseneck kettle, especially the ones from Fellow, put that on your next wish list. These kettles, like we have actually looked around the world. We have 4 different kettles in the shop right now. There is no better kettle than the Fellow ones. Temperature controlled. I even use it for cooking now. I do sous vide meat with it. I do a lot of different stuff with it. It is a phenomenal multi-purpose tool. Plus it looks amazing in your house. So I'm at a minute 40 right now. I'm gonna give this another 15 seconds or so. I might take it off my scale to actually push down. And it's important that you're pushing down. You don't want to grind too finer. If you're really fighting to do it, I used to this where I grind too fine and my wife would come in and I find her on the table trying to push down the AeroPress. Yeah, you don't need to do that. It's not a workout here. So I'll pull this down here. It should take me about 20 to 30 seconds to actually plunge the whole thing. I'm being really nice and slow here. This total time is only about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So you do 2 minutes, 20 seconds in the morning to make your coffee. Trust me, it's worth it. And just when I get to the bottom here, I feel a little bit more pressure, a little bit more vacuum compression. And that's the happy noise right there. And just a little flip there. And here I've got my brew. I'm gonna grab a couple cups for Bryce and I, just as he finishes up this.
So the brew that I did is a technique called a bypass brew, which just means that I make a very strong concentrate and then I dilute it by bypassing the initial brew with some water. So this is very common in competition with the AeroPress. It leads to, again, like I described, a more vibrant and in-your-face, I guess, taste, while also having a nice mouthfeel that you typically would have with the AeroPress. It kind of is reminiscent of a very nice pour-over, I would say.
Oh, definitely. I thought it was important this month to give you guys a couple options to how to brew this, and we'll talk a little bit about the flavors there that might be a little bit different.
Also, one tip for you, after you press your AeroPress out, if you pull up on the plunger slightly at the end, when you flip, you won't have any drips. Just a little thing to keep yourself neat and tidy at home. So now that I have my bypass here, my concentrate, I'm gonna dilute this now with 85 grams.
So he's resetting his scale down to the bottom to make it a little bit easier for himself to understand where 85 grams is. And once again, this was our pacamara from Las Margaritas. Oh, it's so interesting. I'm getting a very different aroma than the first time. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna taste it.
It's kind of hard not to with this coffee, I will say.
Super light body, really easy drinking, approachable. Still a little bit of that sweetness I'm getting, a little bit of candy still, and probably a little bit less on the red fruit side, at least in my brew. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, Bryce is better. Yours has more body.
It does have quite a bit more body. Yours is very nice and thin. I would say it has definitely has a light to light medium body.
Definitely. Oh, 100%.
Whereas mine is more on a medium to medium heavy body.
The big difference though, I think mine's a touch sweeter.
It is definitely sweeter, yeah. Mine definitely leans more into the decadent side
Totally.
of the pacamara. And sometimes when I was brewing the pacamara, I would find like a grape note or a cacao, where I find that in my brew when
Definitely.
I don't find it in yours.
That is so
Yeah.
cool. Even the brew method, even the recipe inside the brew method matters so much to the end cup result. Next month, we're gonna stick, right now, Colombia is in season. So next month coming up for you guys, give you guys a sneak peek as we always do. We have the Jairo Arcila, another beautiful, really cool Colombian coffee, exceptionally clean, exceptionally vibrant tasting notes. And Bryce and I have decided to partner with our friends in Spain. Nomad Coffee. Holy
Very,
crap.
very excited about this one.
We are way too hyped. We actually did an online cupping, this style online, with a gentleman, Scott Rao, who's a very famous coffee consultant. And he featured with Nomad. He selected 4 Burundian coffees. Well, 4 Burundis and 3 Burundis.
Brazil.
Oh, it's
Brazil.
sorry.
It was a wild Brazil.
It was a wild Brazil,
Yeah.
2 Burundis and a Rwandan.
And a Rwandan, yes.
Yeah, and they were exceptional. Nomad packaging is A1, tasting notes are A1. Really, really impressive in what they do. So please look out for that. And let's talk, friends.
Yeah.
Do not be shy. We are here to help you dial, brew, taste, and enjoy coffee to the absolute max. Excuse me. We appreciate you guys so much. If you want to follow along with our coffee competition journey, Bryce is competing in July in Brewers. I'm at the final stage of the national competition for barista, and just so much exciting stuff happening. We're open, of course, Thursday to Sunday from 12 to 5, and we are launching our St. John location at the Area 506 Container Village June 8th. That will be running all the way until November. That's going to be a full-on cafe model. So if you're looking for great beans, Uptown St. John, my friends, we got you covered.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bryce, for being here, man.
Yeah, of course. I also will say, before we end, I always give out a lot of recipes. If someone wants to give me some recipes with these coffees, please, I would love it. I would love to try out your guys' recipes and what you are enjoying when you're brewing our coffee.
I honestly, we try to do some subscriber hang suit. Do a
that
brew
would be
down.
great, definitely. If you guys are interested in that, just let us know and we'll make it happen.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
My friends, until next time.